We are live at Ray CDJR in Fox Lake. CHGO Bears podcast starting right now. Live from Ray CDJR.
Yeah. That's right.
We are ready to go. The day before Thanksgiving, the day before Bears Lions. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Greg Braggs Jr. with you. Got a loaded show. We got Baldy. We got news from Hallis. Ray's going to sit down and join us for a little bit as well.
Nobody knows football more than Ray and cars. Great combo.
And I'm gonna give you my short list that you guys have been waiting for all week.
Hoge's been working on who the next Bears head coach will be more than anybody in any corner of the football land. So I don't know anybody who's on the list. I'm very excited for it.
All right.
No pressure on you, buddy. But this is home for me.
It's a lot of pressure on you, actually, because it better be a good list.
Yeah, it better be a good list. I just want to say thanks to Ray and Ray CDJR and Ray Chevy across the street here, because this is home for me.
He's not going to give you another track. So
he didn't give me a Trex. I paid for my Trex, buddy. I'm not you who's got a handout all the time.
I did shake him down earlier when he came in and we were setting up. I was like, hey, can I get an oil change while we're here?
I'm getting an oil change, and I'm paying for my oil change because I'm a good customer and I love the service here, and I'm proud to be a customer, damn it. But it's just beautiful up here. Right around 12 across the way is this complete dive breakfast place. I like my barber's down the street when I come up here, and then I hang out here, and I get to be here today with you guys. Not to make this about me. And then Gary's here, and Drew from Kenosha's here, Papa Hoge's here, Big Jim's here. Yeah, it's a big day for us, Hoge.
Yeah, it is. We got a lot to promote too off the top here. First of all, I want to make sure you know it's our Black Friday sales event for CHGO diehards. It is underway. Diehards have early access to this, so check your email, check the Discord. Your discount code should be in there. We got great deals on all our merch. store.allcitynetwork.com.
I wore tough as nails today because you Bears fans, you diehards, you are tough as nails, because this is not easy right now. But we are going to stay positive through what this year has become. Damn it, tough as nails. I think it's a good one to get for your Black Friday sales right now.
Absolutely.
You, of course, didn't wear anything.
Well, I mean, I have clothes on.
Yes, but you were supposed to show the beauty.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're wearing your robe back. You look great. You look great. It's okay.
And also, guys, it's a huge week here at Ray because they got a couple things going on. I mean, obviously, they got their own Black Friday sales event. But this Sunday, something I'm really excited about because I'm going to be participating in is the annual Jeeps on the Run event. Raising all kind of money for Toys for Tots, people bringing in toys. I'm going to have my Jeep decorated, going to bring the family along. And the Jeep raffle, you can check out right now by going to jeepsontherun.com. They are only selling 3,000 tickets for this. So go ahead. You can win a Jeep Wrangler that is 100% donated.
Wow.
By Ray CDJR, which is awesome, and all the money goes to a good cause. Again, jeepsontherun.com. And also, there's a sweet after party. So even if you don't have a Jeep and you're not going to be in our awesome parade through Lake County, you can still come to the after party, which is happening down at the Marriott Lincolnshire. It's only $5 per person. You can buy at the door or online. And one of my favorite bands out there, Modern Day Romeos, is going to be there. So it's an awesome event for the family, and I'm really excited about Sunday.
Let's go.
Modern Day Romeos, huh?
Yeah. They're way above your.
No, you got me excited. Yeah, I got them in. Hey, I'll come see.
Could you name 3 Chicago cover bands right now?
Yes, a Tributosaurus.
Straight to Matt. Okay. It counts.
That's
it
one.
Counts. That's good.
That's one. What's that? Hey Nani. They're always up in Arlington Heights kicking down.
Okay.
There's another one for you, Hoge. And shout out to Bizarro. Now they're defunct, but they're not really a cover band.
I gave you one. You could have said Modern Day Romeos.
I love you. Hey, I'm pro cover band. I'm coming out Sunday. Let's go.
Okay. Should we jump into some Bears Lions talk, guys?
Yes.
There is a game being played tomorrow.
There is.
Great job on the 85 last night, Adam and everybody. I thought that, just hearing Cole be optimistic about and being excited about to play in the Thanksgiving game, something he always dreamed about. I enjoyed hearing that on my drive up here today to Ray Chevy.
He seemed pretty optimistic too.
Well, isn't it weird? I was saying this last week, like the last couple of weeks in the losses against Arizona, the Patriots, and then Green Bay, there was just a sadness tone vibe to the fans, to the players. Cole, even when he did the 85, talking about being emotional after they lost to Green Bay. And then this loss against Minnesota, it did feel kind of weird on Monday. Like it was almost like a victory Monday. It felt like just because fans had a little more optimism, a little more pep.
Well, I think they felt good about the comeback.
Right. And Caleb Williams, and so I think Cole is feeling that. Fans are feeling that. So now 2 games in a row where you see Thomas Brown and Caleb Williams in this offense start to move forward. Yes, they fell short in these games, but now all of a sudden it's got us looking, not dreading these games, but actually looking forward to see how they can play.
Well, Cole also said that he was having trouble sleeping, thinking about it and how close they've been and how has it gone this way as well. So this is, I think, an extremely.
At least he hasn't delved into Taco Bell like me, but that makes sense.
Well, and I think also part of it helps is just practically you play a game on Thursday. You don't you're forced this week to not dwell on Sunday because, as he explained on the show last night, which you missed, please go check it out. Different YouTube channel and podcast feed, the 85 with Cole Kmet. Make sure you go subscribe there. But he said, by 2:00 on Monday, it felt like Wednesday.
Right.
Because they were already into their game prep and their install and all that stuff for the Lions.
Well, then I was listening to Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Chicago Bears. I think people have heard of him. Some people might have a little, what I'm calling now,
wish I'd never heard of
Flusy fatigue, the old Flusy fatigue. But so the Flus today, and I think every day, he is now just leaning into how the guys aren't quitting. They're continuing to try. And today, a lot of it was about they're excited for the competition. It wasn't excited to end the losing streak, excited to get this thing back rolling towards miraculously somehow winning 6 in a row and having an outside chance of being in playoff contention.
Mathematically, they still have a chance at 10 wins, Carm.
Yeah, well, this is the last chance this week, so it's dead and gone. I think everybody knows that. But I thought it was interesting. Like, they're just leaning into competition, playing the game, and kind of just other than that, I mean, they really don't have much more. But there's a lot of pride in what all these guys to get to this level in their life, and that's what they're going to have to lean on going forward. Plus, of course, getting the quarterback into a great position going into next year.
I do want to bring up the injury situation. We're also going to hear from Nicholas Moriano briefly here from House Hall. Somebody with access to the Elon app that I don't have access to, tell me if does the Lions injury report come out today?
Gary?
Come on, there's 2 teams that play tomorrow, Gary.
Give him a second.
No, he'll have it for us in a second.
No, but
Gary Rappaport is on hand here live at Ray CDJR, so our intrepid reporter will get that information for you.
I like to forever now call Gary greater than Ian Rappaport. That's what I would like to do. That's not good enough. That's okay.
One of these days you'll learn. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure the final injury report for the Lions has come out. Just so you know, Elijah Hicks, Ryan Bates both ruled out for the Bears. But one of the reasons why I'm intrigued to find out if we get what the final injury report for the Lions looks like is because they got some dudes on this list.
Yep.
And this is a storyline. Taylor Decker, their left tackle, might not play in this one.
Huge.
I'm thinking he's going to be listed as questionable. Maybe it's a game time decision. Carlton Davis, one of their corners, is dealing with a knee and a thumb injury. He'd already been playing through the thumb. So there's some guys on here, and David Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think they're going to play, but they've been limited in practice, and it might not be 100%. So these are, and Khalif Raymond, who's their big returner, also might be out. That might alleviate some stress in special teams, which has been struggling.
Right. Danny Rogers, who covers the Lions, she had said yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, that those 3 players that you mentioned, Raymond, Carlton Davis, and Taylor Decker, will all be tough to get to Thursday this week health-wise. And so, yeah, my friend that's a big Lions fan, he sent me that, and he's trying to like reverse jinx it, like the Bears have a chance. So then I reversed the jinx back to him and said that they're just fine. They're going to win by 30.
Just a reminder that it is a huge game for the Lions too. They're trying to, be the team that has the #1 seed in the NFC, and you got the Eagles right there at 9-2. Of course, the Vikings are 9-2. So those are your 3. That's the 3-headed monster going for the 1 seed here. But I don't know if you guys are aware, but Detroit's won 9 games in a row. The old.
Wouldn't you be annoyed if you won 9 games in a row and you're still only 1 game ahead? That is the 1 seed.
Yeah, and you're looking at Minnesota like you're not good.
Yeah. Now the Eagles maybe, but yeah, Minnesota. It's like, what's going on? Minnesota signed Daniel Jones today, by the way.
Yes, our guy
Sears Tower.
Nailed
Sears
that.
Tower had it, Hoge.
The tower.
How do you like them apples?
The tower has spoken, buddy.
I don't have Twitter. I don't know who this is or why this is happening.
Yeah.
Whoever locked Hoge out of Twitter out there that watches our show, I kind of think I know who it was. You best let go of the reins here and let Hoge back in, because we need Hoge on Twitter to do to the best of our abilities.
Maybe call the Empire State Building since you got such a problem with the Sears Tower. You ever think of that?
Who said I had a problem?
You're skeptical of the tower. You're not a full.
I'm not happy with the tower because he said that there's no chance that Matt Eberflus can get fired on Friday, and respectfully, Mr. Tower, but
sounds like you have a problem with the tower.
I guess I do have a problem with the tower.
You're definitely not the tower, because if you were the tower, whoever the tower is, if you were the tower,
be pushing.
You'd say it's over.
Yeah, the propaganda that fits my narrative 100%.
Do we have Nick yet?
I don't know. I don't think we do. He's working through something.
I'll let you know when he's ready.
Okay, because we're running out of time on that.
But we are kind of running out of time on that. Baldy coming up at the bottom of the hour. Let me just say this, and I'm saying it out loud at Ray CDJR and with the live audience here. I felt a little bit bad for the Flus today.
Oh my God!
I had a Flus sympathy moment. I'm up there. Like, this dude has worked his entire life to get to this position, to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears. You can't question how much he cares and how much he wants it and how much he'd love to be the guy that gets the Bears to the destination that we've all been waiting for them to get to. And just to know right now that his 3 years here, he's going to go out with a whimper and with a losing record. And in his mind, I think I'm sure he knows that he did stuff wrong, but like I did everything possible right to be the steward for this franchise. And I'm going out here literally with everybody on the planet wanting him to get fired. It's just, I had a moment of sympathy for the guy, because it's not for lack of trying. It's just, he's not too out over his skis. What's up?
Well, I think we have.
You were pointing at me.
Well, I think we have.
Cut off my Flus sympathy short for your pointing, just so you know. I had more Flus sympathy.
I could have cut you off 3 words into your Flus sympathy. I just thought we had Nick. I apologize. So,
are we trying to bring him in?
Let's bring him in. Let's get a quick hit.
Quick hit from Nick.
Nick, you there?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can see you. All right, Nick. Nick, we got 3 seconds for you. Give us the
real quick top 3 things from each guy that spoke today. We'll start with Eberflus. I asked him on the offensive with Detroit's offense being so prone. Does that change how you do things offensively? Do you have to be more aggressive when facing a team like Detroit? And he said, it's challenging on a whole football team when you face a team like Detroit in their offense, but you just got to be as smart and effective what you're doing. It's a delicate balance that the Bears are going to have to try to find against the Detroit on Thursday, but it's certainly applies pressure to the entire football team. Then really quickly from Cole Kmet, he was asked about the 2021 Thanksgiving game against Detroit. That team was also on a 5-game losing streak. But what do you remember about the team's ability to persevere? Cole Kmet was like, I think we that week we were kind of like, F it. And this week we had to play fun, play free. That's the mindset going into this game. Bring the violence and intensity. The most violent team usually wins these games on these Thanksgiving. And does that F it mentality, he was also asked, does that kind of help a team to not play tight? And Cole thought there's an element to that, acknowledged there have been some freaky losses, obviously, in the past couple of weeks, but knows that this Lions team is really good offensively and defensively, but called it a good opportunity and said that they're confident in the game plan and the matchups that they have. And real quickly, my input, if Kindle Vildor is playing in this game, you guys, for the Detroit Lions. You attack him. All Bears fans know about Kendall Vildor and his time in Chicago. The Detroit Lions are beat up a little bit at the cornerback position. If he's in there, I think Thomas Brown can exploit some of those matchups. And then really quickly from Kevin Byard, I asked him, Jalen Johnson highlighted that explosive plays and this run defense has really been holding back this Bears defense. He said the first thing that you got to do as a defense is eliminate the run. If you don't do that, this opens up the entire playbook for what Detroit could potentially do. So whether it's Pee Wee football or in the NFL, you got to stop the run, and that's going to be a huge emphasis for this team on Thursday.
Jalen's been talking about it, how everybody knows that we're having a lot of trouble stopping the run.
Yeah, it's all over the tape.
Yep.
Since week one.
Yeah.
Nick, wish we had more time for you. Sorry, buddy, but great update. Appreciate that insight from kind of a quick Wednesday there at House Hall. I know the team's getting on a plane to go to Detroit. You are headed to Detroit tonight as well. We'll have a lot more time with you tomorrow on the pregame show.
And great job asking Flus about the being more aggressive with that Lions team, Nick.
Yep, appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow from
Hey, Nick,
Detroit.
I got to give you one important tip, though, for tomorrow. Make sure you get to the stadium early because the Lions have a great Thanksgiving spread for you, but it goes fast. And if you want any chance at seconds, you got to get through that line. You got to go fast.
Okay, I'll be up. I'll get my morning workout in and then get some Thanksgiving dinner. So I'll be there.
Yeah, nothing like dinner at 10:30 in the morning, but that's how you got to do it there.
You won't be missing out on much.
You stop it, Craig. It's a terrible thing. All right, you guys.
All right, there he is, Nicholas Moriano at House Hall with some great stuff. Quick update there on a fast Wednesday. All right, as we take our first break, and we got to tell you about game time. Tomorrow will be game time, but it's always game time with Game Time Picks. That makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And they got so many great features on Game Time, like all-in pricing. I like toggling that feature on, so you know the total up front. You're not getting surprised by any fees. They'll show you seat views from every seat you take a look at. You'll know exactly where you will be and what your view will be like. They have a low price guarantee and Game Time ticket coverage. Plus, we're talking about Game Time Picks. It doesn't apply to just sports, although it is great, especially for last-minute tickets. It also applies to concerts, comedy, theater, really any event that you need to get tickets for. It's there for you on Game Time. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time. Who?
Thank you. Shout out to our friends at Empire
just
today.
Had a stroke.
No. Shout out to our friends at Empire today. Great to be here, by the way, at Ray CDJR. We'll talk about them coming up. But shout out to our friends at Empire today. Great shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs. Incredible flooring, the best flooring. And yes, they will not be beaten on quality, on service, on speed. Empire today is simply the best. You will not regret your decision. They've got a virtual floor designer, which is a great way to see how the new floors will look in any space. But they pride themselves on the convenient shop-at-home service. Coming right to you, going to help you shop for floors where you use their floors. You're going to see exactly how the new floors are going to look in your home, with the lighting, with the decor, all of it, so you can make that informed decision. It's a great way to do it. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners get $350 off. Get that discount when you use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details.
All right. Time for the short list. Now, to set this up properly, I will bring this back to a guy named Barry Alvarez, you may have heard of. Longtime coach at Wisconsin who became the athletic director. And what he said was he always keeps a short list of coaches at all times because on any given day, if after winning the Big Ten championship, Brett Bielema comes to you and says, I'm leaving for Arkansas, you're ready to go to start interviews right away.
Part of the gig. Get it. Yep.
So this is my short list. Is this the same list we'll be going off of in January when there's actually an official coaching search? We'll find out. But these are what was 5 guys, now 6 guys that I would want to start doing my research on immediately, back channel conversations, or if the Bears were to make a change, you could essentially start interviewing a couple of these guys as well. Well, at least one of them. So let's start with the obvious candidate right away. Ben Johnson, 38 years old, current offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, who you play tomorrow. So you'll get an up-close look at everything he's doing there. Maybe the hottest coaching candidate on the market right now. You look at some of the positives. Well, offensively, the Lions are second in yards, first in scoring, fourth in rushing, sixth in passing. And he's learning under a guy right now who's getting a lot of credit and should, Dan Campbell, as a leader of men. Another positive, he knows the NFC North well. So he's gonna, if he stays in this division, he's gonna know the matchups, he's gonna know the teams, he's gonna know the personnel really, really well. Now for some of the negatives, he would be a first-time head coach, obviously, and that carries a lot of unknowns. I'm worried about his ability to build a staff, especially if you're coming from the same division. It's very unlikely that Dan Campbell's going to be like, here, take all your buddies with you. So that could create a situation like when Matt Nagy got to the Bears and Andy Reid wouldn't let him take anybody. And he had only been with Andy Reid. So it left him kind of going through a Rolodex of random connections that led to Mark Helfrich being his OC, who he barely even knew.
I guess I have a question there then. If there's certain assistant coaches on that staff that could have an elevated position, can they still be blocked by Dan Campbell? Like if you're going from, to become a DC or an OC when you were below that?
If it's not technically blocked, but
no, but I think the coordinator rule, I'd have to go back through all those rules. I'm pretty sure maybe not for OC. There's also certain just more like moral rules involved there, because like if you're a lower level assistant on Dan Campbell's staff and you're like, hey Dan, can I go interview to be the OC in Chicago? And he's like, no. Would you want to stay there in Detroit then and work for that guy?
Right.
So it's complicated, but Andy Reid is somebody who's been like, no, you can't take people with you. This is more of a fun negative, but it did come up on Hogan Johns this morning. So shout out to Johnsy for bringing this up. And I'm kind of only being half serious about this, but Ben Johnson cites 3 former Bears OCs as influences in his coaching. John Shoop. John Shoop.
You just Shoop.
Stoop the Shoop.
Adam Gase and Mike Martz.
Well, Adam Gase is the greatest offensive coordinator in the history of the Bears, so that's not a bad exact thing. The only guy that got Cutler going. I don't mind that.
My biggest question for Ben Johnson is, can he command the locker room? Can he command the room? Can he lead? These are Carman off of one press conference says yes.
You can now defer to me, and I'll tell you that he absolutely can. He has that presence.
Well, I've begun to do my research on him, and I specifically wanted to watch one specific press conference, and that was after the Lions lost their only game this season. I don't really care what you sound like after you win. What do you sound like when you lose, when the questions are tougher? And I thought he handled it relatively well. One thing I did like is he immediately took accountability for the Lions' red zone struggles in that game. He said, that's on me. We got to get that better. So that would be a welcome change. And I will say, though, I went back and watched a mic'd up video of him coaching at the Senior Bowl back in 2022.
Didn't like it?
It wasn't Dan Campbell, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
2 years later.
No, he's not Dan Campbell.
2 years later under Dan Campbell, right? Because in 2022, how long had he been with Dan at that point?
Yeah, but you are what you are, and I want you to be authentic, too.
He's more of a Jonathan Gannon type.
Honestly, that's what I was thinking of as I was watching it. But Gannon's doing a good job in Arizona.
He's a smart, interesting, young, has good energy guy. You're not. It's a long way from Matt Eberflus. Not that should be the bar, but a long way from him. Just let me add one other thing. The Lions, look, Jared Goff, people thought that, oh, man, they got rid of Stafford. He elevated Goff up, and they do it, by the way, running the football up, their two-headed monster, which speaks to Bears football, if that means anything to anybody.
Well, yeah, the offensive style is not a question at all.
Yeah.
And you like everything about it. All right, we're going to have to speed this up a little bit to get through the last 5. Here's another one. You guys might have heard of this guy. His name is Bill Belichick. He's the greatest coach of all time. He is 72 years old. He has 8 Super Bowl rings. 8 Super Bowl rings, 72 years of life. I like that ratio. Positives. Again, he is the greatest head coach of all time. I'd like to reiterate that you have an opportunity to interview the greatest coach of all time. I would take advantage of that opportunity. I would bring him into your building. I would talk to him. I'd like to hear from him on what he thinks about Caleb Williams, what he thinks about your personnel. If you don't do that, everybody should be fired.
Great.
Everybody.
Well, but you could
you
say
should be fired.
You could. Well, I guess you're not going to say the same about last offseason, right? Because you had Eberflus in house.
Right. Yes, you were not conducting a head
No,
coaching
you could say the same
search
thing about last offseason. They should have absolutely interviewed Bill Belichick
yes,
last season.
that would have been a reason just to fire Flus.
Yeah.
It's just to interview a guy, even if you didn't hire him.
While Matt sits in the corner and listens.
I find it hard to believe that if you did hire Bill Belichick, that there wouldn't be an uptick in accountability and overall, let's just call it coachery.
We'd actually have the hits.
Would somebody be turned at the crowd while the last play of the game is being conducted?
Yes. Negatives. How much longer will he coach? How long will you actually have him? Now, my counter argument to this all the time is, how long do you have the idiots that you hire every 3 years? Yeah. So I don't care if he's only going to be there for 5 years, because what are the likelihood that someone else is going to be there for longer than 5 years? It just doesn't happen with the Bears.
Pass the torch, like it. I don't hate it.
One other negative is, and I don't know how much stock to put in this. Another reason why you got to bring him into your building and talk to him. This guy hasn't necessarily spoken glowingly about Caleb Williams
or the Bears organization.
Yeah. But him and Tom Brady didn't get along all that well, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
So he likes being hard on the greats. That's what it is.
There you go. There's
my spin zone.
The biggest question with Bill Belichick, in my opinion, is how would he mesh with the current front office? And should that matter necessarily? Because I'm not sure it should, but it is a big question. Does he still want roster control? All those things. Let's keep it moving. We're running low on time here.
Bill's also busy off the field. Keep going.
This one might be more of a wild card for you, but somebody, again, these are just guys I want to talk to. Guys I want to at least find out if there's interest. Dan Lanning, head coach at Oregon, 38 years old. If you've been paying attention to Dan Lanning, it is very obvious. He has proven leadership abilities. He also spent some time with Nick Saban at Alabama back in 2015. I think this matters to a certain extent, so don't look at me cross-eyed, but he is an excellent recruiter. And why I still think that matters at the NFL level is it's an indication that you are strong with your people skills, with your relationship building and things like that.
Identifying talent.
Developing
said talent.
100%. He has an excellent defensive background. So if you are going to hire a non-offensive coach, I would feel really good about Dan Lanning's ability to keep the Bears defense playing at a high level while, you find the guys to coach offensively. That, however, would be one of the negatives, right? He's never coached at the NFL level. What are his connections to build an NFL staff? Like, who does he know? Who would he bring in? Those are legitimate questions. My biggest question along those lines is, can he make the jump to the NFL? Would he possibly want to retain Thomas Brown? Because that's a situation where I would think maybe you can bring in a guy, but you retain most of the offensive staff, or at least your OC. Maybe keep things rolling that way on offense.
Both have Georgia ties. If you want to look for some level of connection.
How funny would it be to roll the offensive staff into the current defensive staff and then have a defensive staff have the offensive staff then roll over into them? That would be just bizarre over a 2-year stretch.
Confusing.
Your brain broke from that?
Yeah, there's a lot of rolling into people.
Too much rollover is the point.
All right, Marcus Freeman is next on my list. Interesting name I want you guys to keep in mind. 38 years old. He's currently the head coach at Notre Dame. Once drafted by who? The Chicago Bears in the 5th round. 2009. He lasted a month and a half with the team. They did not keep him.
Was that longer than how long Ryan Poles lasted?
Yes, about the same.
It's he didn't even make the Velus Jones tenure. That's disappointing.
I am shocked so far at this list. Dan Lanning and Marcus Freeman. What are we doing here, Adam?
Proven leadership abilities. Comes from a military family. He was actually literally born on an Air Force base. One thing I like is that Notre Dame actually immediately improved. When not immediately, he did lose his first 3 games, but wouldn't you safely say, Mr. Notre Dame, that the program's in better hands now than it was under Brian Kelly?
Yeah. Yes. When you talk about leaders of men, players respecting their head coach, that comes in bunches. With Marcus Freeman, they were at their wits' end with one Brian Kelly.
And he has a defensive background too, so similar to Dan Lanning. Could he possibly keep the offensive staff in place? Same exact negatives. He's never coached at the NFL level. What are his connections to build an NFL staff? Although he does seem to know a lot of people and is highly respected across the football world. Okay, next on the list.
Hang on one second on Freeman. Bears will like him. Good family, man. Notre Dame, the whole thing. That'll resonate with the McCaskies. You know it will.
Thomas Brown, current Bears offensive coordinator. Positives. Also 38 years old, by the way. That's a random theme in this.
Let's
a lot
go
of 38 years old. You know who else is 38?
Greg?
No.
Gary Ross?
You?
Me.
I'm 30.
You and Hoge are the same age? That's amazing.
I'm 38.
You are?
Yeah.
Then why'd you say no?
Because I'm an idiot. One. and two, I don't make too big of a deal of it, but I am going to be 39 on Friday.
In 2 days?
Yeah.
Wow, Greg's birthday coming up. We'll have to celebrate that tomorrow, buddy.
We're gonna celebrate it only if one thing happens on Friday.
We're celebrating. Oh, we're not doing that.
Way to read it.
We'll only celebrate your birthday if they fire Matt Eberflus.
Yes.
No. We will celebrate.
Thank you for derailing the VOD, boys. All right, back to the list. Thomas Brown is 38 years old, current Bears offensive coordinator. Obviously, we've learned pretty quickly he can command a locker room. He can command an offense. He's getting the respect of players. We've seen an instant improvement in the offense. He's currently building a relationship with Caleb Williams. That seems pretty important. He has a history of, being considered to be a future head coach in this league. He was Sean McVay's assistant head coach, winning a Super Bowl ring in that role. He could keep a lot of continuity with the current Bears staff and players, which I think is a plus as well. Of course, the negatives, no head coaching experience. I do wonder if he becomes the head coach, what type of impact does that have on his play calling and what we've seen? You'd have to go down the sideline. You have a lot more responsibilities on your plate. Those are all fair questions. And the biggest of which is, can he run in an entire NFL program? Would he still want to call plays if he became head coach? These are all things that would have to be vetted. And then finally, the last coach on this list, the other obvious candidate, I would say, from previous guys who have been previous head coaches, I think you would be doing a disservice if you did not interview Mike Vrabel, 49 years old. He's currently a coaching and personnel consultant for the Cleveland Browns, 3-time Super Bowl champion, playing for who? Bill Belichick. Other positives, he was already a head coach in this league for 6 seasons. He made playoffs in 3 of those years with 2 playoff victories. That is more playoff victories than the Bears have since George McCaskey took over as the chairman of the board.
Very popular with the fan base right now. The fan base really seems to want a tough guy type like a Mike Vrabel. By the way, Vrabel also born in August. He's a Leo. We rule the world, and we're the kings of the jungle. I love Leos.
With all these coaching, college coaches, I'm surprised Pat Fitzgerald didn't make your list.
Which is disappointing, by the way.
2021 NFL Coach of the Year. We know Mike Vrabel can build an NFL coaching staff. Some negatives. What the hell happened the last 2 years in Nashville? What happened in the final year with the ownership and the general manager? There's a lot of stories out there about that. Would that create any type of problem in Chicago? And that is my biggest question with Mike Vrabel. That would have to be vetted in the interview process. How would he mesh with Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, maybe more importantly?
Doesn't feel like a Bears hire.
Yeah. But yeah, these are guys you have to talk to. This is where I'm starting my coaching search with these 6 names. I'm getting them in the building. I want to talk to them. I want to vet all these guys out. That is my short list for Bears head coach.
I'd also like to volunteer once again. I would be very happy and willing to help out with the interview process and doing the human assessment that seems to have been lacking. You guys can figure out all the football, the deep details of what system you want to run. I will do the actual human being.
If you don't take a break in 30 seconds, I think our producer's actually going to kill you.
Okay, well, tell him to relax. Everything.
I'm right here and I can hear you.
I understand. Hey, listen, I hooked Steven up today. He will relax. And that is correct. I would like to say hello to our friends at Verilife, who are awesome. It's the perfect way to elevate your day. At Verilife Dispensary, they've got everything you need, from premium cannabis products to expert advice. So whether you're new to cannabis or you're the connoisseur type, their knowledgeable bud tenders are there to help you elevate your experience in any way, shape, or form. They've got 8 locations across Illinois. Verilife proudly offers the price match guarantee, which ensures you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on eligible products. Don't miss out on the latest deals, exclusive offers only at Verilife Cannabis stores, or, of course, online at verilife.com, VERILIFE.com. CHGO.com. Mention the code CHGO25 in store, and you get 25% off one of the regular priced items. Restrictions do apply. Shout out to our friends at Verilife.
That's right. I want to shout out our good friends that help us out at the tailgate. You know what my favorite thing to drink at our tailgates is? That would be some Miller Lite. That's right. A lot's changed over the years. One thing that hasn't is the great taste of Miller Lite. Another thing that hasn't changed is that it's less filling. So what is the best thing about original light beer? Well, Miller Lite sparked this debate in 1975 when Mark was a fresh age of 57 years old, and we still haven't settled it.
Too. Thank you.
Miller Lite keeps it simple, undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. Miller Lite is the official beer of the Chicago Bears. You don't have to choose what's best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/CHGO football, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories per 12 ounces, fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. Make sure you get yourself some Miller Lite.
Start your night off right. By the way, just got a text from Ray Chevy. Good afternoon, Mark. Your vehicle is all set and washed. Just stop by whenever you have time. See, that's the type of service you get when you get an oil change here, Hoge.
That's right. That's right. And that's where we are. Ray CDJR in Fox Lake. We are having a great time, but it is a little after 1:30 local time on Wednesday, and that means we need to bring in our guy, Brian Baldinger, to the program. Baldy, welcome in. We I don't think any of us are feeling really good about this matchup against the Detroit Lions tomorrow, but what are your initial thoughts on the Thanksgiving menu that we've been presented tomorrow?
Well, there's a lot of things I'm going to be paying attention to in this game. Caleb looks a whole lot better under Thomas Brown the last 2 weeks, especially last Sunday. They've taken both division opponents with nice shiny records right to the brink the last 2 weeks. Now you see the best of the division on the road here. They know him very well. They've played him very well before. They don't look to have a weakness right now, especially in offense.
Uh-oh, Baldy, we just lost the audio, unfortunately, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's still there talking, but we can't hear him. I don't know if people in the chat can hear him. Can people?
He obviously,
it's on his end.
Yeah, he obviously can't hear us either. So we'll have to reconnect there with Baldy.
Shoot him a text.
Yeah,
he's good.
Shoot him a text.
Shoot him a text.
But what he just teed up there, if I may, because I was thinking about this on the way up. Look, you had the Packers beat. You had a field goal blocked. You took the Vikings to overtime. This is a 10-1 team and a 9-2 team, right? And honestly, sure, maybe you'll get the Lions this week or maybe not. My point is that it doesn't really matter. It's where the team is actually headed. So with an offensive coordinator who looks like he knows what he's doing with a young and developing quarterback, I know it's very hard for Bears fans right now to have any level of optimism. But the fact of the matter is, if you do play this out big picture, the developments are positive.
Yeah,
it takes a second to get there, but I think that is just a grounded way of looking at what's actually going on right now. And I don't know.
It is, but it feels like the same conversation we've been having for.
But it's different. We haven't had this guy. There is 18 has not been running around, man. It's a totally different thing.
Try and Baldy back again, here, guys.
All right, yeah. Hey, Baldy, I think we got you back now, but we were just kind of. Piggybacking off what you were talking about with why this just feels different with Caleb right now in this last couple of weeks.
Well, last week, first of all, they've gotten DJ Moore completely involved in this offense. I don't know why it took so long. Put him in the backfield. Throw it to him on the swing. Just get the ball in his hands. He's a faster Debo is what he is. So, they've targeted him 14 times. He's got 14 completions. So that's one. The offense looks different, but also, Caleb's doing what you're supposed to do, what Jared Goff is going to do tomorrow. He's beating you from the pocket. He's making good, quick decisions with good, quick, accurate throws. Now, they're not getting the ball deep down the field, although, when they got the ball to DeAndre Swift on a scramble play, he makes this sensational throw that we know he can do. But I just thought like, let's stop trying to, like, run this bombs away offense that Shane Waldron was trying to run that made no sense. The offensive line wasn't good enough, low percentage throws, and the kid's running for his life. They kind of stopped that these last 2 weeks, and it looks more like a good NFL offense right now.
Baldy, you flipped over to the defense in one of your breakdowns, and you were highly confused as to why the Bears, the way they're playing the run and giving up, they gave the biggest play of the year to Aaron Jones, and you were like, they've been doing this all season long. This was Matt Eberflus's forte. This is what he's supposed to be good at. So maybe you can take a stab as to what's going on here.
I went back and looked at, they have given up 6 runs of 25 yards or more. I mean, it's a lot. And no good defensive coordinator, no good defense is going to allow that to happen. It can happen once. You can miss multiple tackles. You can have a great play sometimes. But, like, that play that Aaron Jones ran, you just got to squeeze that play. I don't know what TJ's doing. I don't know what the corner's doing. The safety got blocked on the play. It happens. Byard was there, but he got blocked. You just got to squeeze. This is not rocket science. This is run fits. This is what you literally walk through in every individual drill. All off season, all preseason, every week. I hate to go back and say this, but like Urlacher and Briggs could do this blindfolded. Like, they shouldn't be making this. It's a mental error. They shouldn't make this mistake in week 12. But they gave up 8 plays, counting the pass interference by Jalen.
Yep.
They gave up 8 plays of 20 yards or more. There might not be some teams in this league that have given up that all year. They gave up 8 in one game. That's like, I know it went to overtime and they got one of those plays in overtime, but still, that's too many for any defense.
So Baldy, that it's not great timing then to go have to face this hot Lions offense,
an explosive Lions offense.
With all that being said, what impresses you the most about what Ben Johnson has done with this unit in Detroit? And we were just having a conversation about 10 minutes ago. Obviously, he's going to be a hot head coaching candidate again. What do you know about him as a leader of men, as somebody who could potentially command an entire locker room, an entire team, and not just coordinate an offense?
Well, I remember when the Detroit Lions were on the show last summer, not this year, but last year. They were on HBO show.
Yeah.
Right. And it was interesting because, like, they literally hit Ben Johnson during that entire program. Like, you saw very little of him and heard Dan Campbell didn't want to put him out there for a reason. Now, I don't know him that well, but what I know is by what I see. And the level of creativity, because honestly, like, every offense, you watch enough of these games and plays, every offense has a rhythm and a flow to it. And so what you're doing as a defense is you're kind of pattern reading what the offense is giving you. And so he has this sort of magical touch to get you flowing, because that's what all the motion and all of the pre-snap stuff does to you. And then you counter the motion. And he's constantly doing that to you. And so, the cliche is when you're zigging, he's zagging. That's true. But then there's just, from the formation standpoint, how they get guys free, how the passing game makes no sense. Jared Goff's a good player. He's been an accurate thrower. But there's games when he hasn't missed a single throw. Like, right. It's just that defined sometimes of where to go with the ball. And that's clearly on the design of Ben Johnson's offense.
No question about it. It's all the talk here in Chicago is trying to figure out who will be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. Us Bears fans have a tendency to kind of skip steps and skip ahead. We were doing this last year at this time with the quarterback decision. So that being said, Baldy, you see what Thomas Brown has done here in 2 games, a short week against Green Bay, and then a tough test against Minnesota. If he were to go 3 straight games against 3 divisional opponents, all 3 very good teams, and put on the kind of 400-yard total yard showing that the offense has showed, do you think that the Bears need to take a serious consideration to give him a 5-game audition on the sidelines as an interim head coach if he is indeed going to be somebody they consider for the head coaching role, or do you keep him up in the booth and keep things how they're going right now?
No, I'd like to see the audition. I don't really understand what the Bears thought about. I mean, they interviewed 13 guys for the job. I mean, I know he was in Carolina and it was a disaster last year, but like that wasn't his fault. But like this guy clearly is a bright mind that understands the quarterback position. And he's clearly putting himself in a position right now, especially if they play really well tomorrow offensively. But I mean, I feel like this could be a 5-game audition for him, like as a head coach, but certainly as a top flight coordinator, whoever would get the job. But I'd give him the audition. I'd put him down the field, let him go to work.
Well, and that's my question, right? I mean, because that's Bears fans' concern. He prefers to be up in the booth clearly to call plays, but then to be on the sidelines. Talk about how much different of it that is as a challenge for somebody that prefers to be up there, but now is calling plays on the sidelines.
Yeah, I mean, you got your spreadsheets all out there. It's very comfortable. There's no distractions. You can see literally much better from the standpoint of, are the corners, what kind of leverage are they playing? You can see the personnel changes a lot easier. You can see the fronts that they're in much more clear. You can see if it's 3rd and a yard versus 3rd and a foot. You can see things a lot better from up there. And plus, you got all your minions up there. I don't mean to discredit anybody, but you got all your staff right there. And you got a set of eyes there. You know the clock. I mean, there's a reason why coordinators, a lot of them, prefer to be upstairs, offense and defense, because you can really you can really organize your thoughts in the next play much easier sometimes.
Hey, Baldy, stay right there. We want to get a couple of our sponsors in here. I can speak. Sure. Thank you very much. Just hang out for 1 second here. Look, it's the holidays are phenomenal, but it's also super challenging for some. Get yourself the support you need. Use our friend BetterHelp. Self-care should be non-negotiable. You might skip some, maybe you'll skip leg day or maybe you'll have a great eating day. But listen, get yourself the support you need and use BetterHelp. I know your schedules out there. Everyone's are packed, whether it's kids or work or whatever. But hey, this is a priority that I would highly recommend that you take care of, because look, you got to take care of number one first so you can take care of the people around you and be the best for them. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/CHGO and you get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/CHGO. Privacy, confidentiality, security, anonymous, all the things you want. They do a phenomenal job, our friends at BetterHelp.
And we are here at Ray CDJR in Fox Lake, where the Black Friday sales event is going on all month long. And that means you can score huge Black Friday savings on your next vehicle the entire month of November. Do not let these deals pass you up. Stop in today, literally today, because we're here today. You can browse their huge inventory of new vehicles. Right now, shop savings like 0% financing available on all new 2024 Jeep models, or you can shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. Let the amazing team at Ray CDJR help you during each step of your car shopping journey. And with Ray's Price Promise, the numbers you're hearing now are the same prices you can expect to shop in-store and online. And that is because Ray's Price Promise means no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees. Since they prioritize affordability for their customers, hurry into Ray CDJR today and shop one of Chicago's largest inventories, then drive home with more money in your pocket than you'd expect. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, because they are the only team we recommend at CHGO. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com, serving the community since 1963.
Plus, Ray's a huge Bears fan. You want to buy from a Bears fan. Plus, he's going to be on the show, and he's going to break down both football and some of the amazing opportunities, including the EV Equinox, which I think I'm going to probably follow myself into one of these years. Yes.
Baldy, I got kind of an offensive line question that crosses over into field goal protection.
Yeah.
Because the Bears have all – I mean, in some ways, it's kind of come out of nowhere, because I know Cairo Santos has always kicked a low ball, but it's not like they've been having a lot of kicks blocked until all of a sudden recently in the last 2 weeks there's been two huge ones. But obviously this was something going back to last week's game against the Packers, Rich Bisaccia saw. And if you go back and watch like the Cardinals game a few weeks ago, all of a sudden you could see them start to come after Matt Pryor a little bit. I guess what's your explanation for what's going on here, and how much is it just at some point does offensive line attrition start to trickle down to your field goal protection?
You know, it's interesting. I saw Richard Bisaccia on the field Sunday in Green Bay. So I went up to him. I was kind of tongue-in-cheek with him. I've known him a long time. So I said, Rich, I was going to congratulate you on that field goal block against the Bears last week, except they just got another field goal block today. So maybe you're not that great in what you did.
It's amazing.
But, you know, he was like, I was like, you know, because it was the game, you know, it was the game deciding kick against Green Bay. And I said to him, do guys rush harder because it's the game kick versus an extra point or first quarter field goal? He goes, not on my teams, we don't. Because what's that saying? He goes, he always thought that field goal block and field goal rush, extra point or field goal, was an extension of your defense. And if you took the play off, it's like taking a play off on defense. So, like, I'm just thinking if I'm Matt Pryor, and look, Matt's 6'8", you can get underneath him. Like, he's not a knee bender. He never has been. But, you know, maybe they should play him at tackle where he's not getting 700 pounds coming right at him and lifting him up and backing him up, because he's clearly been a weak link 2 weeks in a row. So maybe you should put, you know, Darnell Wright in there. You know, it looks like he's a little lower, a little better gravity. Maybe you should switch the guard tackle and arrangement up a little bit and not just let something like that happen again.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting you bring up too the mindset of blocking of field goals, and especially I would say extra points, because they tend to come right after a deflating play where you gave up a touchdown. And what I always tell our kids at the high school level is like, okay, well, if the team's going for 2, would you just stand there and do nothing, or would you play defense? Because you're playing defense. It's just it might seem like you're going through the motions because the kicks are so easy, but no, you're rushing. You cannot take the play off.
Okay, so wait a minute, Baldy. Then why don't they just attack Matt Pryor the same way at guard when they're running offense? Explain me the difference.
Well, I mean, because
you can't put 3 guys on one offensive line.
You can't overload one guy like that. But I got to tell you, I mean, honestly, I watched that kick 20 times last week. I think Santos was going to. I mean, I think that was a shank from the beginning. That thing didn't look like it was, unless there was going to be some magical, you know, wind in Soldier Field that was going to bend it like Beckham to the right. That thing didn't look like that thing looked like it was shanked from the beginning.
Well, that's how the final kick, you know, to tie the game, to send it to overtime, it kind of did go left to right. So, you know, I don't know if he's doing that deliberately, or because at first off,
they play the wind. Sometimes, you know, like the wind is different down low than it is up high. I always look at that pregame on my walk around the field and look at kickers to see what they're seeing. That can happen. I mean, I've certainly seen guys play the wind, and they do that. But that looked like he hooked that thing to the left. I mean, that's what it looked like, the initial trajectory.
Sure.
Baldy, they had this debate on the 85 last night, Hoge and Komet, about the going for 2. Where do you stand on the down 14, go for 2? Analytics say do this because you get a chance to win in regulation that you wouldn't have if you didn't go for 2 there.
I don't like it, because if you don't make it there, then you have to make the 2 to tie. I'd rather take my chances at the end, and if I have to either go for the tie, or if I'm on the road, whatever, defense is tired, gassed, star players are out, I can go for 2 at the end. I don't like being down 8. Getting another possession where you have to make the touchdown and the 2-point. That's where I stand. It can change depending on weather, field position, a lot of different factors. But I've seen enough this year where I feel like it's backfired more times than it's benefited a team.
No. Hoge, tell him he's wrong. Tell him he's wrong. Because I'm on your side, Baldy, and he calls me an idiot all the time.
All right.
So you tell him he's wrong right now.
Well, but there's one difference. Baldy actually had some actual logic there in his defense, and I've always said this is not black and white. You just won't listen to the argument. There's a huge difference. It comes down to, and I get it, I am not black and white on this. I say you got to have a feel for the game. That is a huge part of being a head coach. You have to have a feel for the game and gut decisions. That's what you get paid for. But that being said, Baldy, if you just kick 2 extra points and you're just playing for overtime, the only way to win the game is to get an extra possession. So you are banking on getting an extra possession.
And they got the extra possession.
Yeah, they did.
They took a stupid sack on second down. And,
I know.
I mean, like that's the one time Caleb panicked in a game. And he took a sack that, there was no need to do that. They had all the time in the world.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I still wanted to get to the bottom of why there was no, I think he called a 7-man protection there, and then the Vikings backed out of it. Someone's got to leak out there and be a check down option on that. Something was off there.
Quarterbacks have to have answers to whatever the defense is doing in any situation. There's got to be a place to go with the ball. Like, that's what I'm always asking myself when I see that happen. I'm like, where's the answer here? You got to think through these plays, because obviously Flores does this all the time. He could do it in the first quarter on first down. So he's always challenging your protection and your answers to the protection. So it just didn't look like they had a good one right there.
Baldy, we always appreciate the time. True or false on your way out here? The Chicago Bears are headed in the right direction. Bears fans should be confident in that.
I feel like they're going in the right direction. I know that doesn't show up in the record. I've been impressed the last 2 weeks offensively, and that's a big part of this season, was making sure that you feel good about the quarterback going forward and that they can really start building around him going forward in free agency, in the draft, whatever it is. And I feel like they got him out of this funk, and I feel like this offense makes sense, and he's going in the right direction. I like to see other things get fixed on the defense, but I feel better about this team than I did 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's going to make everybody watches this show feel better too, Baldy.
You will feel better about the Bears. Baldy just told you I'm there. He'll come around eventually.
I'm tuned in at 12:30 tomorrow, guys. I'm watching.
There we go.
We are too. We're excited. I don't really care who plays on Thanksgiving. I'll watch it. So
are you a big Thanksgiving guy, Baldy? What's your plans for tomorrow?
Well, it's my favorite holiday of the year, and I played in this game when I was with the Cowboys 6 times. I loved playing in the game. But tomorrow I got to do the post game after the Bears, Detroit, and after the Giants Cowboys game. So I'm kind of tied up to like 7:30 or 8. But that just gives me like a compressed amount of time to drink and eat and get happy. So I'm okay.
Hey, we're in that same boat with you. We're gonna get done with our post game show. The time will be compressed, but we'll take the
we'll make up for it.
Yeah.
And Baldy, I'll speak for everybody on the show. We are thankful to get to talk to you each week. It's a true pleasure for us.
I look forward to it, guys. I really look forward to it, man. I wish the season was going better, but there's still like these last games are really important. But no matter what happens, we think there's going to be changes. But regardless of what happens, like I tell teams, I don't care. Stop. Like this idea that you're playing for draft picks is nonsense. Go to win every game you possibly can. It's important to the future. Whatever coach or administration runs this team next year, like winning is important.
I agree with you, Baldy, and thank you so much. We love talking football with you each and every week.
Likewise. You bet.
All right, have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too now.
And on that topic, as I know we're gonna bring in Ray here soon. I know we gotta adjust a couple things, so I'll
get out of here.
Adjust me off the set. Is
that
what you mean?
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
I was honestly
okay.
Well, we'll get that swap out. I just want to bring this up real quick. The one thing that kind of sucks that's happening now because the Bears haven't been winning, they've lost 5 in a row, is like you lose the national spotlight of what Caleb's doing. Like, because I listen to some of the shows I listen to every week, they were like, this past week, they were like, yeah, Caleb, he looked okay on Sunday. And I'm like, that was probably his best game. But, like, the Bears aren't winning anymore.
Right.
So you're going to lose some of that. And that's why I agree with Baldy, not just the optics, but I'd like to see Caleb win games here at the end of the season. I think the decision on Flus has already been made. I'm not worried about that. I don't think, first of all, I don't think some 6-game winning streak's coming anyway. But even if it did, I honestly don't know that would change anything with what we've seen so far. And I just don't think the Bears are at the spot where, picking where the draft pick overrides what winning football games can do for Caleb going into year 2.
And I won't fight those. Any wins they get, even if they completely are out of the playoff picture, especially if they win them in the way that they almost won these last 2 games where Caleb Williams can, get you the win and be the hero and start to build that confidence within this league. That being said, the last 2 weeks, if every game is like that the rest of the way, as gut-wrenching as it would be, you have your quarterback, your head coach isn't the answer, and you get the best draft pick you possibly can. Organizationally, from a big picture standpoint, it's not the worst thing that can happen. That again, but I'm happy if they can win as many games as they want here at the end of the year. I'm not going to fight it.
Hey, on the way out of our first hour here, as we'll have a little overtime with Ray, just want to thank everybody for watching and also remind you to become a diehard, allchgo.com. And, of course, our Black Friday sale is amazing right now. Diehards, you can get in there right now, get huge discounts on all our merchandise, some up to 75% off. Get yourself a couple T-shirts. Great gift for the family, for your Bears fans, friends, or Cubs or Sox or whatever. Become a diehard at allchgo.com.
Well, Ray was supposed to do the line change, and he ran off as soon as
he probably had to go sell a car or something
got
important.
TV shy. It's Ray's turn, but he might be working with somebody. You never know. You're right. He's probably selling a car. Well, I mean, I don't know if you got camera shy. You heard it was your turn to come up, Ray, and you ran off on us. So here is our guy, Ray Scarpelli.
Just go away.
No, I will not go away, sir. I will.
You can stand behind us and now you're upgrade, major upgrade happening as we speak. It's right in real time. This is the first firing in real time of the history of the show. No, Greg did it. Greg, we'll miss you, but Ray, good to see you, man. Thanks for having us.
Yes, of course. I love having you guys over. You guys are awesome. As you know, I'm a big Bears fan, and as much as I like talking about cars, I love talking about the Bears just as much.
Let's interview Ray for a second. What's the biggest disappointment about this season for you? Speak for yourself and for Bears fans at the same time.
That's a pretty easy one for me, actually. I think it was retaining Matt Eberflus as the coach. I mean,
it goes all the way back to January.
You are speaking for Bears fans right there.
Yes. I think it was pretty obvious with all the coaching availability that was out there. I think you saw enough within 2 years to know what kind of coach he is. And that was kind of the one fly in the ointment for me anyway. And just like going into the offseason was, oh, man, we got this number 1 pick. We're probably going to pick Caleb. We made that Keenan Allen trade. That was exciting. We signed Swift, all these awesome things. And, it's right. We got Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's like having this great turkey and we don't have the gravy or the cranberry sauce. So, and that's the coaching that we decided to retain our coach. So, I really think that's been the bummer this season. You had a ton of evidence. I forget what the percentages in these like close games with Eberflus, and he's easily the worst coach when it comes to those 1-score games. So
it is impressive that DraftKings had that 1 in 68 million, the likelihood of the Bears losing all the games they've lost in the last 1 in 68 million.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to work hard to get to that level.
Yes, 68 million. Yeah.
You know what that makes me feel better about?
What's that?
The odds of me winning that Jeep Wrangler on Sunday.
That's
Jeeps on the Run, which Ray was so kind to donate 100% to the cause.
Yes, that's our big thing. We got that Jeeps on the Run going on Sunday. It's our biggest dealership event of the year. And guys, actually, we've got 20 spots left. Okay. So if you want to participate in the run, we've got 20 spots left. Go to jeepsontherun.com to register and become a part of the biggest Jeep run in Illinois. And it's all for a good cause, for Toys for Tots. You got a chance to win a Jeep. And if you're in the area too, we have our after party going on at the Marriott Theater in Lincolnshire. Doors open at 11. You don't have to have a Jeep to participate in that after party. Always a good time. We got Modern Day Romeos coming up as well there. It's probably one of the best cover bands in the area too.
No doubt.
So entertaining as well. So
I learned that earlier today that they're sweet. So
yes.
You need to come by.
11 a.m. on Sunday.
In your backyard.
I was just going to say, dude, it's in your backyard.
It's literally in your backyard.
It literally is my backyard. I could walk over there with Poppy the puppy from the 18th green. I apologize to the Marriott for the fact that I've been taking my dog out on your golf course. Don't pay attention to me at 7 a.m.
Not sure I would have said that publicly.
It's all right. They're good. Poppy's doing a good job. She cleans up after herself. We're good.
Well,
that's awesome.
It's a great location too, and it's going to be a fun party on Sunday. And again, so anybody can come to that. It's only $5. And Mike's here from Jeeps on the Run does such a great job with the entire event, because it's a big event. There's a lot of planning and logistics that go into it, but I'm looking forward to participating for the first time. I already bought all the decorations for our Jeep Grand Cherokee that I got here at Ray CDJR, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. The kids are excited about it too.
Yeah, we were talking. We're at Ray CDJR, but Ray Chevy's also right next door too. You were getting super excited with me and my like always having my eye on the old the electric vehicle, that Equinox, and the new view that's going on over there. Right, that's a big time scene.
It's the new Equinox. I mean, here it's got a great look to it. If you're considering an EV, that would be the one. I mean, it looks like a Porsche Macan. The range on it's great. There's a ton of good deals on it right now. Take advantage of that $7,500 federal tax credit. I've seen leasing payments as low as $300 on that. So, I mean, it's like we're talking about a cable payment for a car payment it's a great product, good quality. Your maintenance on that vehicle is going to be next to nothing because small little fun fact, I think I might have mentioned this to you guys. The average internal combustion engine has about 2,000 parts. The average EV has 17. So your cost of maintenance for an EV is going to be next to nothing.
Wow, I did not know that. And by the way, a little teaser: we got a video coming out when I don't exactly know when it's dropping, but Ray and I drove the new Chevy Silverado EV.
Oh boy,
together.
Wow,
we had a little dash cam going on there as we drove it around Fox Lake here. It was a lot of fun.
And coffee, but minus the coffee.
That thing was powerful.
Yeah, I bet because I mean I've got the Trax, which doesn't have the same power, and that thing spins around pretty damn well. It's by the way, a great value in the 20s range for a brand new car. You can't get that everywhere. Love it. Love my Trax. And you're a big Silverado guy. You got.
I miss my old Silverado, but now I got my eyes on the EV version.
Yeah, so there you go. Ray, are they going to win on Thursday? What do you think? Tomorrow, Thanksgiving.
Bears. Mean, here I looked at the spread. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I really do. I don't think this is going to be like when Detroit played the Jaguars and blew them out by 50 points. I think this is going to be within a touchdown. I think the Lions win, but it's going to be close. It's going to be competitive. I think you're going to see some more steps forward from Caleb. I think the Lions are a little bit banged up, right? Like David Montgomery's questionable, Amon-Ra's questionable. Some of their offensive line, which is like one of their biggest strengths. I think they got a couple guys there that,
Taylor Decker may not play.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a competitive game, and that's going to be the game that everybody's going to be watching. And I'm still excited for it. These divisional games, black and blue division, they're always fun.
Back to the dealership real quick here. The Ray on his Instagram put out a video of all the guys who are like, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
I saw that. Yeah.
I loved it. It was just cool just to see.
I like the one guy who was like, I don't know yet. My family doesn't tell me. That was my favorite part of the video.
Did you relate to that there, Hoge? Or you're in control?
No, they tell me, but I get at least like 48 hours notice.
Okay. You cooking anything up, either of you two?
So my wife is an excellent cook. Shout out to Gabby. She is. This is her Super Bowl. Thanksgiving. She's a big cook, so I think we're making like 15 different sides. So I am.
Don't tell Greg.
Yes, I will be helping her out as her sous chef on Thursday. So
Greg's running home to help his mother after the show to cook for us tomorrow, which we all know that Greg's going home to eat the food that his mom is cooking today and not do anything.
I'm gonna have a poison turkey for you.
That's great.
Poison turkey?
He just HR straight life threat on the show.
No,
that's all right. No problem.
All right.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It's a good way to wrap things up in a nice holiday way here at Ray CDJR. Thank you, Greg, for that.
Ray, we always appreciate you having us out here.
We love it, man.
And I'll see you again on Sunday.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
One more time, there's 20 spots left. Jeeps on the Run.
JeepsOnTheRun.com.
JeepsOnTheRun.com. I mean,
and the raffle tickets are on there too. The after party tickets. I went on there. I think on Monday. I took care of all 3 in a row. It was great. Nice and easy.
Give yourself a nice 5-minute excursion here. Maybe you'll get a Jeep, and hey, who knows what that turns into if it doesn't work out for you. So JeepsOnTheRun.com. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. We'll let Greg come back in here as we say goodbye.
We're bringing back.
Well, we're just saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have our pregame show tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning. What time are we eating, by the way?
Well, I mean, that's
after pregame.
Because honestly, that's all I care about.
Yeah. Well, I'll have the food there.
Like during the game?
Yes, we'll be there before pregame show starts with the food. Then it'll be time to grub whenever you want. It's an all-day affair.
You say grub or grow up?
Grub.
Okay.
We're not growing up. We will never grow up here at CHGO Sports.
I'm not ready.
I just can't believe that that whole time where you talked about Jeeps on the Run, that you did not sing Band on the Run.
Didn't pop in my head.
Jeeps on the Run.
Jeeps on the run.
Jeeps on the run. Ray CDJR. Jeeps on the run. Route 12 Fox Lake. Jeeps.
I don't think that's going to be their new jingle.
It's right there.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
It's got potential. I'll keep playing with it.
That's on their YouTube channel. See. Yeah.
No, they already did that. They already did that. The
Search
jeepsontherun.com. Go check it out.
That was your idea, and you were slow on it, but they already, of course, they're ahead of the game here.
And they definitely don't want you to remake it. He also said that.
That's fine. That's I'm not going to mess with the marketing here. They figured some things out around here.
All right, we are out of here. Thank you, Nicholas Moriano, Baldy,
Baldy.
Ray, for having us out.
Ray CDJR.
The best weekend of the year to come by. Ray CDJR. Make sure you stop by. Black Friday sales event going on. Jeeps on the Run on Sunday. Our Black Friday sale going on at store.allcitynetwork.com. All of our merch is up there. If you are a diehard, you get access to that right now.
Thank you to the hundreds of people that came out.
Drew, Papa Hoge, Gary, better than Ian Rappaporter. It's a big crowd out here, baby.
Yes. The most important, the VIPs, and we appreciate you guys.
I mean, I feel the presence of crystals out there. I can feel the Pizzatola in the distance.
I want to meet Pizzatola in person.
Thank God Pizzatola didn't come.
Yep. Oh, we got super chats, guys, here.
Super chats.
Thank you, Steven. JL, $10. Tomorrow's prediction. Kevin Warren walks by the locker room, hears Flus's pregame speech, fires him because it's terrible. Bears win 42-38 behind interim head coach Washington/TB, and Caleb going nuclear.
One of the great visuals for all Bears fans right now. Ward is that's it. Get out.
It's the most unlikely prediction we've ever had, but I still think you got your $10 worth. So thank you. $5. J Juice. Caleb. T-Just. I'm sorry. That print right now I'm trying to read is so small. Caleb has 3 primetime games left. If he plays well, would the national narrative switch on him? Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about with Rookie of the Year. I mean, it feels like the toughest thing that's working against him is the record.
It's not over yet, but he's got a big steep hill to climb.
I mean, basically a third of the season's still out there, if you think about it that way.
His numbers are right there with Bo Nix and Jane Daniels. They've played one extra game over Caleb right now.
Did you just say they should have traded down for Bo Nix and gotten more value? Is that what you just said? I can't believe you said that.
That's what Eric Kramer says.
YouTube user says, let's go. Just became a diehard. Yes, we got YouTube user, guys.
There we go, YouTube.
YouTube user.
Thank you, YouTube.
Braggs is towel.
I love YouTube
trowel. Oh,
Braggs is trowel.
This is a new one. $10. Why no love for Todd Monken on the candidates list? One of the best OCs in football.
College or NFL, has head coaching experience at Southern Miss. Local guy, leader, Hoge. Why did you leave off Monken?
Because it's a short list, not a long list.
You don't funk with the monk?
Can't believe you dug Monken like that. He belonged on some list somewhere.
Got to start funking with the Monken.
Josh says, is this secretly why Greg doesn't like Thanksgiving? Because it overshadows his birthday every year. I think we're onto something there, Josh. That's a great point. And I think we did get to the bottom of that during the show.
We did not get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. This man's got some, well, that's,
Just for that, Josh, you can go fund or Venmo me some money for my birthday for that little comment.
What?
Everybody Venmo Greg money. Let's want Greg to live his best life.
One more from T-Just. Week 12 draft talk. Draft edge first, sign O-line. Very weak tackle class. Lots of good guards. We can snipe with second rounders. Okay.
You're ahead of the curve,
my mind's not there yet. All right, we are out of here. We will talk to you at 10:30 tomorrow morning. We got our CHGO Bears pregame show ahead of the showdown against the Lions. We will talk to you then.
We all silly like the mayor.